for about 16 years or so. I've worked with startups just like all of you in this room, and I've also worked for some leading tech companies like Apple, Oracle, MIT, and many others. And in those 16 years, there's one tool that I have relied on for everything, and that's Adobe Photoshop. It's a fantastic tool, it's really powerful, and it really kind of gets design. I've kind of devoted a lot of my life to Photoshop in a way. I'm the editor for Photoshop on Smashing Magazine. I've published many articles and many ebooks on the topic. But I'm willing to admit now today that it is definitely not the best tool for web design. Because a Photoshop document is essentially a static page. It's just an image, basically. And it doesn't understand the web at all. So there's a big need in our industry for some sort of tool that feels like Photoshop, but that actually understands the web and allows you to do things that Photoshop simply can't do. So I built a tool. It's called Macaw. It's a very fluid design interface. Designers feel very comfortable inside of it because it feels very much like Photoshop and the tools that they're used to. However, it really understands the web, so you can start doing things that Photoshop simply can't do. If you need interactive components, if you want something like a YouTube video, you can just draw it on the canvas. If you want to do wireframing, we have a bunch of pre-built components that you can pull onto the stage. They're very smart. They resize as you resize things. And when you're done, typically you would take those wireframes, show them to the client, they'd be like, oh, that's awesome. And then you're going to throw them in the fucking trash because you can't use them. They're not on the web. Within Macaw, you can basically take those wireframe components and morph them into actual live components. And you can go from prototyping with your wireframes, and you can move right into mock-ups by morphing all your elements and creating fully stylized comps. You can also tie in with jQuery, and you can start adding interactions, so you can do all of your prototyping within this tool as well. Now, Adobe has been trying to solve this problem as well. They have a couple tools out on the market, and the problem is that they all suck. Because they get the design part, but they do not understand how to move those designs and convert them into the HTML and CSS you need to actually deploy your website or your product. And the reason that it sucks so bad is because they look at each element individually in your document and write the code for that. And this is not at all how web developers think about things on the web. What Macaw does is it looks at your project as a whole, across multiple pages, and it looks for all the similarities that exist. And so it writes very intelligent HTML and CSS, so that when you hand this to a developer, they're like, oh, this is exactly how I need it. So it cuts down the time from conception through wireframing, through mock-ups, through prototyping. You can do it all very quickly, and at the end, you can just export it, and it's ready to go. So we would use the startup Jackpot money to basically pursue a patent to protect those algorithms. We think they're very valuable. It's something that Adobe, who's sort of the leader in the industry, has not been able to crack, and so we think we have something very valuable, and we would like to protect that.